Hi, this is Joe Chambers. Today's guest is Danny Seraphine, founding member and drummer of the great band Chicago. Danny talks today about a day I'll never forget, the day that Terry Kath passed away. As a guitarist, he was who I wanted to be, and still would love to have just an inkling of the talent that he had, both as a guitarist and a singer, performer. Danny also talks about the effect that it had on the band for years, probably to this day. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new content. Hope you enjoy it. Danny Seraphine. What was Terry Kath like?
He was free spirit, very free spirit, down to earth, completely down to earth. A no bullshit kind of guy. Didn't like success and stardom. Did not agree with him at all, which was part of his tragic ending. Of the drugs and he was not happy with. He just loved the play. He was the true warrior of the band, in my opinion. And so the corruption that kind of comes along with superstardom, so to speak, it really affected him, in a negative way. It was hard on him. Wonderful person. He was the best guitar player I've ever played with. It changed my life. I really, really miss him as a person, but I really also missed him as a musician. The band was never the same. I'm not saying there wasn't greatness, but we really lost. I guess my analogy of Chicago, if you had to, was almost like an anatomy of a human being. Was like I always thought of myself as the heart of the band, and Terry the soul of the band, and the horns, the identity of the band, and Peter the voice of the band, and where else is left? I don't know. There's not much else left, but that's kind of how I always looked at the band, Mm-hmm. And so losing Terry, we lost our soul, and it took us a while to find it again, really. We were lost for a few years after Terry passed away,
Well, as a fan,
Yeah.
I remember that day. I was devastated. I couldn't even comprehend it. It changed. Of course, I still went to see you guys. But to me, especially like being a guitarist,
Yeah.
it's pretty hard because I could have gone to see Terry just play by himself,
Yeah. Me too. It was never, like I said, there was no guitar player. I've never played with one as good. I played with some great guitar players. Larry Byram, Chris Pennick. I played with some great guitar players, but none that compared to Terry.
Yeah, to me, he had it all.
He did. He really did. He did have it all. Amazing rhythm guitar player, incredible soloist.
Acoustic, freeform,
yeah.
electric.
Got a great voice, wonderful, like Ray Charles type voice, Our soulful voice. Yeah, Terry was one of a kind, no doubt. When I got the call from our manager, we had just gotten a new manager, and called me and said, "You're not going to believe this, Terry shot himself." I said, "What?" It didn't surprise me because he was he always carried guns around and did way too many drugs, and he was in a bad space. So I'd heard that he was at one of the road crews. His name was Don Johnson, one of our roadies, and so I said, "I don't believe it." And they said, "You stay away from there because all the press is going to be there." I said, "No, I got to see." So I shot over to Don's house, and he answered the door, and I was almost like a life preserver. The guy was freaked out. He just flipped out. He said, "I didn't mean it, Danny. I told him not to play Russian. I told him to put his guns away." And Terry was sitting on a couch with his head down like this, just peaceful, and it was I just went and sat down next to him and, said goodbye to him and said, "I know it's been hard on you, and I hope you're going to be happy, and I'm going to miss you." And, it was just, I'm kind of glad in a way I was able to do that. I feel like I was lucky to be able to say goodbye to him, the right way, and it was really tragic. It took the band years to recover from that, and emotionally, In some ways it brought us closer together. It really formed a very, very strong, unique, we were already a brotherhood. That's the one thing about Chicago. at least the way I want to remember it, is that we were a real brotherhood. And Terry was really an integral part of that. And losing that made us appreciate each other even more, and how tenuous life is and what we're doing, and how careless we were and how careless we were living. And we continued to live carelessly. Drugs continued on in the band after that, which I hated, because I didn't like drugs to begin with, because I saw what it was doing to the band and to the individuals, and I didn't like what it did to Terry, and I couldn't handle it. Fortunately, it's not like I was a better person than any of them. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle playing high, I had to have my wits about me, And also somebody had to be, I was like the designated driver of the band, so to speak, for many years. And it was just a grim reminder of our foolishness and carelessness with life. I think all of us could, especially from that era, can relate to that, how careless we were with drugs and sex and rock and roll.